Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Unfunded Mandates Reform Act, or better known as UMRA, was enacted in 1995 to promote informed and deliberative decisions by Congress and federal agencies concerning the appropriateness of federal mandates. However, it quickly became apparent that despite the good intentions, UMRA failed to curb the imposition of federal mandates to help raise awareness about unfunded mandates and to ensure more of these mandates are captured by UMRA. H.R. 50, the Unfunded Mandates Information and Transparency Act, was introduced by Representative Virginia Foxx. H.R. 50 is a bipartisan legislation that improves the regulatory process and creates more certainty for job creators. The bill will close existing loopholes in the law and bring transparency and accountability to the regulatory process. H.R. 50 requires that an independent regulatory agency complies with UMRA. Independent regulatory agencies are excluded from UMRA's requirement, but the regulation that promulgates can impose significant cost and burdensome requirements. Currently, regulations issued by agencies such as the Securities and Exchange Commission or the National Labor Relations Board are excluded from the cost-benefit analysis otherwise required under the current Act. H.R. 50 codifies the principles of the regulation, the Executive Order 12866, issued by President Clinton, and reaffirms in the Executive Order 13563, issued by President Obama. It also codifies Executive Orders 12866 requirement that agencies conduct cost-to-benefit analysis. H.R. 50 requires agencies to consult with the private sector prior to proposing a major rule. Currently, this requirement only applies to state, local, and tribal governments. And in light of President Obama's emphasis on early stakeholder input on the development of federal regulations, there is no reason to exclude the private sector stakeholders from this early consultation requirement. H.R. 50 allows the chairman or the ranking member of any congressional committee to request that an agency can conduct a retrospective analysis of existing federal regulatory mandate. President Obama has acknowledged the need for retrospective review, stating that each agency, quote, should periodically review its existing significant regulations to determine whether any such regulation should be modified, streamlined, expanded, or repealed to make the agency's regulatory program more effective or less burdensome in achieving the regulatory objectives, end quote. This change would ensure existing regulations are reviewed. H.R. 50 extends judicial review to ensure agencies carefully consider the least costly and least burdensome regulatory alternative. And according to the Small Business and Entrepreneurial Council, the current judicial review provision, including an UMRA, quote, lacks teeth and offers no real incentives for agencies to deal legitimately with UMRA's requirement. H.R. 50 ensures that federal agencies and the Congressional Budget Office estimate the entire cost of a federal mandate, such as foregone profits, costs passed on to consumers, behavioral changes as a result of any federal mandate. I would encourage my colleague to support this common sense bill that is much needed, and I would yield back to the chairman.